Welcome to Save As Ability, a podcast to educate and inform you about disability employment issues. My name is David D'Arcangelo, and I'm your disability policy expert. Disability-owned business enterprises. That's what we're talking about today on Save As Ability. Welcome back. It's David D'Arcangelo for, I think, is this our 60th episode? It might be our 61st or somewhere around there. But thanks for joining us, and thank you for continuing to help us grow our channel by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, all of that. It really helps us keep great content flowing for you. So today we're going to talk a little bit about disability-owned business enterprises, or DOBEs is the acronym, right? DOBEs. And as a matter of disclosure, Archangel Communications is Adobe, and we're working on getting Angel Buttons, our other business here as Adobe as well. That's in process. So I believe in representation of people with disabilities in all aspects of life, and that includes business, right? So I think it's good to be able to have organizations say, hey, look, I've got a disability and I'm in business. And so, if you have supplier diversity goals in your organization, we can help you meet those. And there are other advantages too that we'll get into here. But I wanted to start, let's think about a business owner who, navigating business in general can be challenging, right? Like an entrepreneurial spirit it sounds great, but it's tough to do. Take it from me, I'll tell you. And, navigating that can be challenging. Well, then layer on top of that the complexities of a disability that a person has. Like, for example, I don't drive. Right. So my legal blindness prevents me from driving. So how do you be able to go do the things that you would normally do? Or like maybe now the costs have gone up because I can't go to get stuff. I have to have it delivered and there's a cost to that, everything else. Point being, like the complexity level, the challenge level goes up when you're, what is the disability? We've talked about this before. That that lack of, right, is inhibiting something. You have ability. Everybody has ability. You can't have a disability without first having ability, right? So we're positive here and we're focused on ability, but there are real challenges that go along with various disabilities, whatever they are. I'm using myself as an example there, but so all right, it's already challenging being a business owner, and then you layer the disability on top of it. The challenge goes up, right? So the reality is that disability-owned business enterprises, in a way, that's a qualification in a way, because all of these DOBEs all across America have resilience, problem solving, like all good factors you want out of a business, customer service, like all of the things that you want to make a business successful. Some of that is built in by the nature of disability. So again, rather than looking at it as something that is not a good thing or inhibits you or is, a challenge or whatever, I prefer to focus on opportunities, qualifications, all of the good side that you get from dealing with the disability, turning that negative into a positive. All right, now let's just briefly define what a disability-owned business enterprise is. Now, there's several different ways to do it, and there's different organizations that do it in different ways. But generally, it's going to be a business that is at least 51% or more owned, operated, controlled by individuals with disabilities, okay? Now, there's organizations out there, as I mentioned, full disclosure, I'm a member of Disability In. They're probably the premier organization in America that certifies businesses as a disability-owned business enterprise. They have a process that you go through, a rigorous process with questions and, figuring out, do you meet all the criteria? And it's not just on the disability aspect, but it's being a viable business as well. So they're making sure that these businesses are duly established as, legitimate organizations and all set up paying taxes and, doing everything you're supposed to do as a good organization here in America. So this helps because we've heard from large organizations. We've heard from corporate America. Now, remember, just take a step back for a moment. Out of the entire business community in America, something like 98% of businesses are small businesses, meaning by the SBA, the Small Business Administration definition, they're 500 employees or fewer, okay? But these large businesses, these like Fortune 500 company, Fortune 1000, Russell 2000, all of those types of businesses, many of them have established supplier diversity programs. Well, within those supplier diversity programs, disability and disability-owned business enterprises can be a part of that. So they have goals and aspirational goals that they want to try to work with DOBEs and disability-owned business enterprises. And it's a win-win when that happens, because you're saying, hey, this is important to us to make sure that we're representing the entire business community. And that's both from the DOBEs themselves, but these large organizations as well. And it's a win-win when that happens, right? So the goal is to create a positive impact here in America for DOBEs. And I think we're doing that, and ultimately DOBEs end up contributing billions of dollars to the economy. They're hiring people. It's a good thing all around. They're bringing their products and services to bear in the marketplace. That's a good thing, right? So there are some examples that I want to go over, all right, of how DOBEs can grow and become vital suppliers for corporations. And as a matter of full disclosure, one of the things that got me into Walmart with our buttons through their open call program and getting a golden ticket to them is, they indicated that that's important to them. So whether it's Walmart or Microsoft or other large retailers in other parts of industry, they have goals in place that their board has talked to them about, their executive management has talked to them about, that, hey, make sure we're not leaving out people with disabilities and disability-owned business enterprises. Now, it's not all peaches and cream. Sometimes there's challenges too. And, limited access to capital. There's a report that's been out there. It's a little dated now. I think it was done back in either 2012 or 2010 or something like that. But it was from the Department of Commerce put it out. And it was the Minority Business Development Agency. And it indicated that entrepreneurs with disabilities often have to work twice as hard to prove their value in the system that is not designed with them in mind. And it specifically points out things like lack of access to capital, lack of access to, barriers to entry for these corporations and, other business-to-business opportunities, limited inclusion in supplier diversity programs. So there's definitely challenges. And when we look at the larger ecosystem of the economy, although people with disabilities, and again, depending upon which definition you use, are you using the 12% of the American Community Survey, are you using the 25% of the Burfus? Either way, it's a significant amount of Americans that are people with disabilities, right? Somewhere between 10 and 20%. Well, according to the United States Census Bureau, though, only about 3% of all businesses are owned by individuals with disabilities, right? So there's challenges there, but we're overcoming them and things are improving. I really believe, I'm very optimistic going forward that there is going to continue to be a rise of disability-owned business enterprises, and the opportunities for them are going to be more and more, which is a good thing. It's a good thing for the people with disabilities. It's a good thing for the economy. It's a good thing for business. When these things are done, it's a win-win-win. The rising tide lifts all ships. So, there's many great organizations out there, as we've just disclosed. I'm a member of Disability In. They do a great job. There's National Disability Institute. There's National Organization on Disability. There's other things. I've gotten assistance from the Disability Opportunity Fund with like capital and they give grants and things like that. So there's definitely organizations out there that are doing a good job. You can find out more. We'll put some links in the description here. But really, it's a call to action. And I'd ask all corporations, any listeners out there or viewers out there that are in positions of influence in industry, to talk about with your supply chain people, hey, what are we doing to engage DOBEs? And are we sure that they're represented in our supply chain? Are we doing business to business? Are we providing access to opportunities to disability-owned business enterprises? So, well, all right, let's wrap up here. And I would say that a thriving economy in America is going to be one where people with disabilities are represented and represented well. Supporting disability-owned business enterprises isn't just about economics. It's about recognizing the value and the abilities that they have. Remember, you can't have a disability without first having ability. So what can we do to accentuate that in business to get opportunities, access to opportunities for disability-owned business enterprises. So let's build a future where success knows no limits. We can do it. I'm sure of it. We're doing it now. More to come. Things are getting better. I appreciate you. It's David Darkangelo, another episode of Save Visibility. I hope you have a great day. For more information about disability employment issues, please visit our website, disabilityemploymentsolutions.com. The Save As Ability podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, our YouTube channel at Disability Policy Expert, or wherever you stream your podcasts. Subscribe, stream, rate, and review our shows. Your ratings and reviews help our show reach new audiences. Produced by Pod Pro Entertainment. Save As Ability lives within a network of podcasts located at podproentertainment.com. #TheNewRadio. Again, my name is David Darkangelo, and I'm your disability policy expert. Until next time, thank you. I hope you have a great day.